Welcome to this special program. And today, I'm privileged and I'm lucky, and all those people who are also watching this program are also privileged and lucky because we have the honor of having and speaking with someone very special, Mohammad Azharuddin, former captain of the Indian team, former member of parliament, former great of the game, joins us on the show. Azhar bhai,
Thank you.
thank you so much for joining us. And I really
Thank you.
appreciate it that you took out time from your
Thank
busy
you.
schedule uh,
No, no, it's my pleasure.
here to speak with me. The first question
This
is,
was long overdue.
huh?
This was long overdue.
This was long overdue, and I really appreciate you took out the time. Azhar bhai, before I get
My pleasure.
into regular questions about the ecosystem and other things, I want to know from you. आजकल आपकी जिंदगी में क्या चल रहा है?
No, nowadays I'm busy with politics now because I just ran for the election, MLA elections from Jubilee Hills. But so we are busy. We have our Congress government, so a lot of work is happening, and really working for the betterment of the party and betterment for the people of our state and also people of India.
Yes, there is a Congress government. You've been a part of this outfit. We'll get into that a little later. But first up, I want to discuss cricket with you. I know
Yeah,
that is your first love. It will always be your first love. And
correct.
something very fabulous that happened very recently, Azhar bhai, was India winning the T20 World Cup. What were your
Right.
observations and reactions when that happened?
No, I was very happy because it's after a very very long time. I think we won the ICC event. That's a T20 World Cup because people started talking a lot. Though India is not winning any ICC tournament and all, but I think the team really played very well, and I think they deserve all the accolades and they put in a outstanding performance, and then they showed the people that India can win ICC tournament, and that's how we have a number one side. In all formats, we have a very good side, and we have abundance talent. Even if you don't have the first Indian 11 playing, you can still have the second Indian 11 playing and competing in the test matches and all. So we have abundance talent. People are coming up. A lot of youngsters are coming, and then I think the system looks very good, and then things are happening in a proper way. And then if you see, I mean, some of the best players, like my favorite player, Shuman Gill, was not able to get into the Indian team, for the T20 World Cup. So it goes to show that we have many, many more players who are very talented and who are ready to fill in any shoes.
What did you make of Rohit Sharma's captaincy? It's important to know that from you because you are one of the best captains that we've ever had. You dominated the 90s. There's so many accolades, so many records, under your belt as a captain. What did you make of his captaincy? Has he matured over the years when it comes to captaincy?
Well, definitely, because when you take that mantle of captaincy, in the beginning, it's always, I mean, people have some views about, how is he going to do it? Will he be able to handle the pressure and all those things? But I think as you go along, when you when you do captaincy for about 8 or 10 matches or 12 matches, then you are very well set. And then I think he's really improved in whatever way you can say. I think he's been a very good captain. I think he commands the respect of the players. That is most important of any captain. Once you command the respect of the players, then it becomes very easy. And I think I am also very happy to see him. Like he's very open to advice. When you go and ask him and give him an advice, he listens to you very keenly because a captain is a good a captain is a very good captain when he listens to his teammates and when he listens to the advice. Because as a captain, when you're doing captaincy, you miss so many things. Small things. But I think the players go and tell him. So I think that's the most important thing, and I must congratulate him for taking the team to greater heights.
Azhar bhai, you have 6,000 test runs, if I'm not mistaken, 9,000 ODI runs, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken. Uh, what is it about, your days in cricket in the 80s and the 90s that you miss a lot? You are into administration now, which is a completely different job from
Yeah.
being close to cricket. How do you remember those days? Do you get
No,
nostalgic?
yes, I remember very fondly, because when I was growing up, that was I was supposed to be doing. That's what I was doing. I mean, I was good at cricket. I had the skill, and then only thing I needed at that time was to, put the skill into practice, and then, perform. That was the only thing which was happening when I was young, when I was a kid and all. But then you started playing for India. It was totally different. When you play for India, that's the icing on the cake, because I mean, not many people get a chance to play for India and then go on to captain the side also. It's like a big bonus. So I will definitely, I mean, any cricketer, if you ask him, who's not playing for a long time, will definitely miss the playing days. And then you have so many memories with your players. Sometimes when you meet your old players, when players who have played with you, and you talk about all those memories. It's always good. I mean, you miss the game definitely playing wise, but I think there's so much cricket now happening, and if you, I mean, surf the channels, if you sports channels, you have cricket all the time. Anywhere in the world, there are matches which are telecast, and I think it's nice to see cricket is growing in the European countries also, and then they've done well in the US also. I think hopefully the US team is really done well.
Mm. Azhar bhai, you captained well, you batted well, you were a great fielder. These are some of the skills that, are not easily spotted in any format, including the league format of cricket today. What do you think is missing in cricket today?
Well, I think not a lot. I mean, I don't think there is much I mean, anything missing in cricket, because I think attitudes in cricket will always change, because now cricket has become a part of a growing society, because I mean, like, maybe now cricket is different. When I was playing, it was different. Even before, it was different. But maybe in the future also, it will be different. I don't think there's anything missing. I think maybe I feel that, the boundaries in those T20 games, instead of 60 yards or something, if they can be extended to 70, it will have a good thing. I mean, the bowlers also, because when you play a T20 game, I mean, sometimes the scores are 230, 240. So I feel that is unrealistic. But I mean, people come and enjoy. Nobody likes to see wickets falling, but everybody likes to see people hitting sixes and getting to a big score. So I think the IPL has changed the whole game, and I think players are getting chances very quickly, and then the talent which you have, maybe down the line after 2 or 3 years, you will get to see the talent. You can see the talent very quickly, and then there are so many players who are playing for India. I think they have been a product of the IPL, but I always feel, I mean, I tell people that, I mean, the main aim is to play for India. Playing for India is the most important thing. A lot of people now come and say, sir, I want to play IPL. No, I always say, no, first you aim to play for India. IPL you can play anytime. But when you aim to play for India, everything becomes easy. So I think that is what is missing. But I think Test cricket also, I mean, there are a lot of people are saying that, is losing its charm. But I think if you see in England, even a game against Sri Lanka the other day, the crowd was full at Lords or wherever. I think it was played at Lords only. I think the Test match. I mean, if I'm right,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't follow much, because there's so much cricket. As I've said, sometimes it's very confusing. But I think Test cricket is the key. I mean, it's the basis, and you have you need a lot of skill to play Test cricket.
Azhar bhai, I think it was July 1990 when you scored that 121 in 111 balls at Lords, if I'm not mistaken, against England. And
Yes.
that is considered to be one of the best innings ever played. What do you remember of that? This is a personal question I want you to answer for me.
No, I think the first thing I remembered was, my late father. When I was going to England, he said, "Okay, I mean, you have scored runs almost every place, but I would definitely want you to score 100 at Lords, But I was the moment I scored 100, and I was remembering, I mean, because my father never used to say much, like never interfered in cricket, or for that matter anything, but. On that particular day, I would say that he was very adamant. I said, no, I want you to score. Then that was the only feeling. I was very, very happy. But I think there are a lot of things happened before before we went into bat. I think we won the toss and put England into bat. So many different negative things happened. But I think I was very happy to score that 100. And I mean, I was very happy that the people enjoyed, and I always felt that when I'm playing, if I score runs, the people who come to watch the game, they should get thoroughly entertained, on that day, and then when they go back with a lot of memories. So that's always been my intent. I mean, no doubt, I really enjoyed it playing, scoring that 100. But I will be very happy if people enjoyed that day. That's the most important thing. And my father's wish I was able to accomplish on that day was a very, I mean, good feeling for me. A very satisfying feeling for me.
Right, absolutely. And since you mentioned your father, even I remember watching that game with my father, and it is
Right.
etched in my memory and his memory as well. Otherwise,
Right.
the last to last question you mentioned that what's important is to play for the country. But there's so many breakout leagues that are happening every day. There is a state league now, there are city leagues now, there's the IPL, and there are so many leagues. Do you think domestic cricket and its sheen, its reputation, or rather the need for domestic cricket, is deteriorating and declining on a daily basis? And what can we do about it?
It was declining. Because not many people, not many players, big players, who are already representing India were able to play for the domestic season. Because I think, see, I mean, watching great players play is one thing you can learn a lot, but when you play with them, there's a lot more you can learn. So I think the board has taken a very good initiative, and then they've already, sent a circular to everybody saying that, people, you have to play domestic cricket. I think that's why if you see, they have the Dalip Trophy, which is starting, I think, in about 3 or 4 days, you have those four teams, you have the cream of players playing in those matches. I think maybe, I don't know about Rohit and Virat Kohli, but I think most of the other players are playing in those games. So that's how it should be. When if the domestic cricket is the basic, because, base for the players, who want to play for their state, and then they want to play for the country. So I think we cannot neglect that, and I think the board has taken the right decision. I must congratulate them.
Hmm. Azhar bhai, the Olympics concluded very recently, and we did not do a good
Right,
job. A lot of
correct.
people say, or a lot of people blame cricket the reason for us not being good in other sports, because the whole attention goes to cricket, even by the people and the corporates and the sponsors. How do you respond to that?
No, cricket is a game, because cricket is producing results, because we have been a number one team in all the formats. I'm not saying that with due respect to all the game. I think even our board also has, donated some money to for the sake of, for the Olympics, for the players. So I think the most important thing is, the federations which are there, the different federations which have. I think they need to, work very good, because if you see, there are so many in those federations. You have two groups. There, so definitely the sponsors will never come, because the sponsors, they will not know where the money is going to go. So I think the most important thing is that, I'm sure, if we get the good sponsors, and I think the government has to be more proactive. They have to spend a lot of money, in sports, because I think sports is one thing. It brings instant fame to the country, because if you, the whole country was, watching, athletics and all events which we had, but it was, I always feel that, there may be some, we have to have more professionalism, but I think you can't blame the game, because blame cricket for not getting medals. I think, Olympics is like it's an individual sport. You have to really work hard. For an individual sport. You have to work hard. How much hard work you put in. Then you can always do well. So I think hopefully, we can learn from what happened this year, then maybe try to improve. We keep saying that, but then it doesn't happen. So hopefully, inshallah, next Olympics, we get more professional coaches, more professionalism, and then more money should be pumped by the government also. Definitely the sponsors will come once you have the system right, the federation in the system is right.
Right. Well, last question on cricket, then I'm going to ask you another question on politics, and then we'll end the show. I know you are a busy man. You said Shubman
No,
Gill
no,
is your favorite player,
yes,
but Rohit
yes.
and Virat Kohli, obviously, the time has come for them, to throw in the towel and hang up their boots. Who do you think is going to carry on with the mantle of leading the Indian side? Who are your favorites to be the future of
Well,
Indian cricket?
I think, when Shubman Gill, if he is really performing well, inshallah, I think he will definitely perform. He has loads of talent. So I think he's a player, he's young, and then, a lot of things will rest on his shoulders. I think, I will not be surprised if he will become the captain in future, but it remains to be seen how long Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli will continue, because I think they're playing very well. And I think once you're playing well, I think, you should not think about all these things, because playing for the country is the most important thing rather than anything else.
Mhm. Azhar, let's talk about politics. Your state is Congress driven now. The Lok Sabha elections concluded a few
Yes,
months ago. There seems to be a new zest in the Congress party. It's
that's
the
right.
principal opposition now, with Rahul Gandhi as the leader of opposition.
Yes, yes.
What do you make? Is the Congress up on its revival now?
No, I think definitely, we have really done well in the past election in the Lok Sabha. I think if you see now, things are not going to be as easy for the other party, because what it used to be about in the last, parliament session, but now in the, before this election. So, inshallah, hopefully, our party is really doing well, and I think Rahulji is really working very hard. I think he's, as you say, he's leading from the front, and he's batting on the front foot. So if you see his, interaction in the parliament, and you see the way he's talking, so I think it augurs well for our party, and inshallah, will definitely do well in future. And then our party is a very secular party, and then we want to help every person in India. So that's how it is, and that's how the party has worked all through since its inception, and we'll do the same thing. And I think all credit should go to our party men, and then Rahulji has been a leader, and is going to be a big leader in future, inshallah.
What about your state, and what about the work that Mr. Reddy is doing? It's obviously
Well,
an opportunity that has come after a long time for the Congress party, after the TRS was in command for a long time.
yeah. Yeah, after 10 years, I think, our CM, Mr. Revanth Reddy, I think he's really doing well. I think he really worked very hard, like whatever today, I think it's his hard work and his, the way he looks at things, his vision is very big, and I think if you see there are a lot of developments are happening with the Musi River, and there's so many things, because he's very fair person, he's been very fair with people, and then hopefully, inshallah, under his leadership and guidance, I think our state will really improve, because a lot of time we have said that for the last 10 years, people talk about work has happened, but not really the work has happened. So now, inshallah, when our government will definitely show that we are doing, and we are going to work for the betterment of the state.
So before we go, Azhar, I just wanted to know from you, there are elections coming up in various states. What do you think the future holds for the Congress party? You did well in the Lok Sabha elections, but you still, are not at power in the center. How are these state elections going to define what the next 5 years in the run-up to the next elections in 2029 look for the Congress party?
No, definitely. These are very important elections. Any election from now on, any state election is very, very important. And I think these two states, Haryana and Maharashtra, I think we are going to sweep. And I think our party is well prepared for it. And then we are working very hard, our party. And then under the leadership of Mallikarjun Kharge Saab and Rahulji and K.C. Venugopal Saab, we are really working very hard with Priyanka ji also, doing a lot of rallies and all. But I think the people also want a change, because the people also are ready to sweep, in these polls, the people have decided that, we need stability, if the state has to improve, we need stability, because in the Maharashtra also, we didn't have stability, there's so many untoward things happened in Maharashtra also, and in Haryana, not a lot of work is happening, there's so much crime is happening there. So, except for, other things, because a lot of crime is happening there, and people are fed up of all these things, and then inshallah, our party will definitely, sweep the polls.
Azhar bhai, what about the India alliance? Is it going to last till the next Lok Sabha elections, or do you think?
But definitely it will. Yeah, definitely it will last. India alliance is the alliance now, and hopefully, inshallah, next time when we make the government, it will be India alliance government with the Congress party heading.
Azhar bhai, do we see you in cricket administration in the future, or coaching the Indian team in the future?
That you have to ask the question to the BCC. I cannot answer that question.
All right. Azhar bhai,
I definitely want to, but if I get an opportunity, yes, always. When I will definitely want to help the players. I definitely want to help whatever cricket or whatever experience about the cricket experience I got from playing for so many years. Then I would definitely like to impart that knowledge to the younger players if I get an opportunity.
We have a new coach in Gautam Gambhir. What did you think of that?
I have no comments to make.
All right, okay. Azhar bhai, I really appreciate you took out the time. You hardly give interviews, but you took out time for us right here on Long Story Short. Thank you so